Pulitzer title, Scaredy Cat Splat, by Rob Scott. Rob Scotton would be who? What did Rob Scotton do?
The illustrator.
Not the illustrator.
Writer.
What else do we call the writer, the person who wrote the book?
The illustrator.
What do we call the person who wrote the book? The author. Good job.
No, because I said it.
So when we read this book, I want you to think about the main character. Does anybody know anything about main characters in a story? Yes.
The characters that are like the story.
But what do you think, who do you think the main character would be?
The cat that was on the book.
You think the cat that's on the book's the main character? Okay, let's see. Mom, cried Splat, there's a scary spider on my jack-o'-lantern. He's small and hairy with really funny eyes. Splat's voice wobbled with worry. But you're small and hairy with really funny eyes, said his mom. Splat thought for a moment. But I haven't got 8 legs, he replied. If you had, maybe you'd be a scary spider too, teased his mom. Splat made a scary spider face. Splat's mom caught the spider under a glass jar. Splat looked closely at the spider. It didn't look so scary now that it was trapped. Can I take the spider to school for Halloween? Asked Splat. We've all made jack-o'-lanterns and everyone is dressing up in costumes and Mrs. Wimpy Dimple is going to tell a ghost story and there's a prize for the scariest cat and I want to be the scariest cat. So please, can I take the spider to school? Please? He added without taking a breath. Okay, said his mom. Where's your Halloween costume? Asked his mom. Splat pulled a broom from the closet and sat astride it. Aha! Look at me. I'm a scary witch's cat, cried Splat, racing around the kitchen. You certainly are scary, said his mom. Then disaster struck. Splat tripped over his tail, and with a crack, the broom handle snapped in two. His scary witch's cat costume was ruined. Now I've got nothing to wear, Splat groaned. Even Seymour couldn't console him. Splat's mom had an idea. She stuffed some old socks with scrunched up newspaper and tied them to Splat with string. There, she said. Splat looked in the mirror and jumped back with a squeal. Oh, I scared myself, he said. He looked again, and this time he smiled. Look at me, he cried, waving his sock legs. I'm a big, scary sock spider. Splat placed his jack-o'-lantern and spider on his wagon and set off to school. On the way, he met Spike dressed as a mummy and Plank dressed as a skeleton. They're pretty scary, said Splat. Seymour nodded and trembled a little. But I'm scarier, said Splat. Splat made his scariest spider face and growled, grrr. Spike and Plank didn't even blink. Instead, boo! Cried Spike. Boo! Cried Plank. Splat yelped and jumped high in the air. Aw, Splat sighed. Spike and Plank are both scarier than me. Seymour nodded and trembled a little bit more. I'll never win the prize for scariest cat, said Splat. The sock spider, the skeleton, and the mummy continued on their way to school. Cat school. In class, everyone showed their jack-o'-lanterns. Splat's jack-o'-lantern made everyone laugh. Aw, Splat sighed. I'll never win the prize for scariest cat. Seymour shook his head. Everyone placed flashlights in their jack-o'-lanterns, and Midge's Wimpy Dimple turned down the lights and whispered in her best ghost story voice. In the dark, dark wood, there's a dark, dark house. In the dark, dark house, there's a dark, dark room. In the dark, dark room, there's a dark, dark box. And in the dark, dark box, there's a ghost! Midge's Wimpy Dimple cried. The class jumped with fright. Splat was so startled his tail whipped around and sent his jack-o'-lantern spinning through the air. And what goes up must come down. Splat. Unable to see anything, Splat stumbled around the classroom. Everyone shrieked as the pumpkin head glared at them and made strange ooh, ooh, and noises. Midge's Wimpy Dimple turned on the lights and lifted up the wayward jack-o'-lantern. The shrieking turned to laughter as Splat fell out. Calm down, hushed Midge's Wimpy Dimple. Now, class, who should win the prize for being the scariest cat? Splat! They all cheered.
Yay!
Now, the author gave us a lot of details so us, the readers, could understand the main character. So we're going to find evidence to help us decide who's the main character. First of all, who do you think the main character is?
Cat. Splat. Splat.
Bugsy.
Splat.
Why do you think Splat's the main character? Why, Cash? He's almost on every page. Let's look. Let's go look for evidence. Mom, Splat, cried Splat. There's Splat talking. And then here's Splat again. It says Splat's mom caught the spider. It's not saying Splat's mom's name, is it? She's just mentioned at the first of the story, but we keep going along. We see there's still Splat grown. So it's talking for Splat, isn't it? Our direct dialogue here is Splat speaking. That helps us know he's the main character, doesn't it? We keep looking. Even though we got Splat and the other two cats, why is Splat the main character?
Because there's not a lot of them two in the story.
It doesn't show them through the storyline. It never shows them like talking much like it does Splat, does it?
Nope.
Now, let's talk about other characters. We know Splat's the main character. What other characters did you see in this story? Mom,
I saw something.
the other two cats, his classmates. Who else, David?
No.
The mouse. Who was the mouse? What was his name?
No, nobody said the last name.
Let's look. He had his name in here. Seymour. So setting. The setting was another very important part of this story. So what is the setting? Does anybody know what a setting is, Landon?
It's like the place.
The place. Tristan? Not the setting. The setting is the place, Al.
School, cat school.
So the place we seen was a cat school. That was one setting. Was there another setting in the story?
Cat's house. The cat.
No, the setting, the place, where was it at?
The cat's house. The cat's house.
The cat's house. We see the setting started at the house and then ended up at school. So it started at home here with Mom, didn't it? Look, him looking in the mirror, wanting to be the scariest cat, find the costume. Then we went along. And it ended up at school. Look right there, it says cat school. That's another setting.
Outside. Outside is the setting.
Now let's talk about the plot. So the plot of the story is always the problem of the story, the main character's problem. So we said the main character was who?
Splat.
What was the problem here that Splat had?
He couldn't find the costume. He could find one, but he broke it. He's always scared of everything.
So what's his problem?
That he wants to be the most scariest cat of all.
He wants to be the most scariest cat of all. He was looking for a costume was his problem. He was wanting to be the scariest cat at school. We seen in this story, at first he's the scariest cat.
No. He got scared of that. He got scared of that.
So we've seen here our plot started out with Splat. Splat was wanting the costume to be the scariest cat. Then the other two cats scared him, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then how was the problem solved?
That he got the prize.
He got the prize to be the scariest cat. How did he win that prize?
Because the pumpkin fell on his head and he was making ooh sounds, and then they thought it was making it by itself.
Right, he ended up with that pumpkin on his head and he scared all of his classmates. So the problem was solved. So our plot is a sequence of events that happens in a story. It starts out with the problem, the main character's problem, and how the problem's solved. So today we're going to do some activities here when we go back to our seat. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about sequence of events, and we're also going to talk about characters and settings, and I'm going to have you do little activities here. So in this one you're going to put the title and the author. So I'm going to let you all look and use this book to write down the title and the author. You're going to put the setting, which is the place and the time the story happened. You're going to write the characters. You're going to tell me the beginning of the story, the middle, and the ending. And we're also going to talk about main idea. There's a main idea in this story. We talked about it when we talked about the plot, so I'm going to let you all think about that, and we're going to give some details for the main idea, okay? You're going to partner work. Thank you for being so good. I hope you liked this story.
I did.
You may go back to your seat.
Can you tell me like stories or something?